the deal, man? It's $5 It's AGTV.
Hey, again, guys, go to It's AGTV on YouTube. That's the homie.
Do you think it's a coincidence that we're doing this interview on March 9th?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. You know what? I didn't even... about an hour and a half ago, I got a text from my old partner, Darren Dupree, going, "Hey, Greg, you know, it's the anniversary." And I was like, "Yes, of course it is, man." And but now that you mentioned it again, I guess that's special.
Yeah. Have you talked to Miss Wallace at all? Again, I know you talked to her once, but I'm not sure if you guys reconnected or do you have any interest to reconnect with her?
With Voletta?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I would always be happy to speak with her. She's just a wonderful woman. But I really leave that up to Darren since he's still on the job and he's the advocate for that case now. And so Darren does stay in touch with her. He maintains communications with her. And because I'm retired and kind of removed from it all, I don't think it's my place to continue to reach out to her.
Right.
So Darren's still a detective or a police officer?
Yeah, he's a detective supervisor at Robbery Homicide Division still. I think he's got 3 more years left before he retires.
Oh, nice. That is crazy, though. 23 years today. I had forgotten about it. I hadn't really paid attention to the date, but that's wild. 23 years.
You and Miss Wallace, is there any because the way Unsolved did it, dramatized it, that it was like you guys had a very intense conversation, but kind of left on a bad note, like she was telling you to leave. Is that how it really went down? Or
so I've only met her once in person, and that was at her house in Pennsylvania. And my wife and I drove over there, and we flew into New York and rented a car and then drove over. And we sat down. She invited us in, and of course it was prearranged. She knew I was going to come visit her. And we sat down and I just explained to her everything that I knew and how we came to the conclusions that we came to. And I just remember at one point I made a comment about a clue that came into the case. And it says, you know, investigators need to talk to DMACC. And it was DMACC. And of course that was always twisted to mean David Mack. And I explained to her, I go, no, DMACC was Darius Rogers, right, who's an associate of Bad Boy. And that was what the clue was, that somebody's thinking that maybe he would know something. And I remember her just putting her hand up, like, you know, like a stop sign, like towards me, like put her hand up, like, I just don't think I want to hear anymore. And she began to weep. And then, of course, I was emotionally affected by it. And I began to cry, and my wife starts crying, and we're all just sitting there like crying over how horribly misinterpreted information had been, and how much she had been misinformed about things in her own case. And I think that was what was so disturbing, was that she has come to this realization, like, all of this information that I've been fed for years is bullshit. And I wasted so much time and energy. I think that's what that emotional response was. And it affected me too. Because she put a lot of time and effort and grief into a false narrative. And that's a hard pill to swallow.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, again, guys, go to It's AGTV on YouTube. That's the homie.
What's up? It's your #1 Coke Boy Chinks, and you're watching AGTV.